We are always looking for ways to save money and share those ways on this channel. So in this video today, I'm going to share 10 brilliant ways to save money. And a lot of those are common sense, but we don't always see something that may be too easy. I hope you'll stick around. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. I've shared with many of you before that I was a nursing home administrator. And being a nursing home administrator, you have to check a lot of things daily, and some things you have to check every single shift. And one of those is how our refrigerators and freezers are staying in temp. That led me to think several years ago, I need to see what my refrigerator and my freezer is doing. Is it staying where it needs to stay? Because we all know there are controls inside where you can make it colder or you could make it warmer. The refrigerator should run around 38 to under 40 degrees, and the freezer should run between 0 and -10. But mine was running way colder than that on both levels. And so I put in a little thermometer to see what it was actually running. And I was able to turn my thermostat up in my refrigerator. It goes like 1 through 6, and I was able to move it up to a warmer control so it didn't kick on as often. And I was able to also do that in my freezer. That saves me money because my refrigerator is not kicking on and kicking off as often. And then when it's winter, I check it again because based on the temperature of the house, it will depend on how hard the refrigerator is working to keep it cool. So that is an easy way to save a little bit of money. The second way is to cook outside in the summer so you don't heat up your house only to have to cool it off again. I have a little table right outside. I use my turkey roaster out there when it is hot outside. I also use my slow cooker, and it just keeps my house from getting warmer. You may think your crock pot doesn't put off that much heat, but for some of us who don't run the AC and heat a lot, trust me, if it is 90 degrees outside or 85 degrees outside and you're running that crock pot, you're going to feel the heat in the room that it's in. So I cook outside in the summer, but then in the winter, I cook inside to help heat up my house so that I don't have to pay to heat it in another way. And then when I'm done with the toaster oven or the oven, I just pop that door open a little bit and let that heat escape to help heat up my house. Super easy to do. Cook outside in the summer, cook inside in the winter. The third way is I don't think we should use our AC and our heat unless we are uncomfortable. That's the way that we live around here. So if we start getting uncomfortable, and I don't mean like, oh, it's a little warm. I mean, like, I'm starting to get sticky. I feel yucky. I'm hot. Then we're going to turn on the air. But otherwise, we are not going to turn on the air. We are going to not turn on the heat. We are going to make sure that we are a little bit uncomfortable before we do that. ACs and heaters account for 40 to 50% of our electric bill. Sometimes you can just use a dehumidifier if you live in an area that is humid, and it will cool off your house without having to turn on the AC. That's just a little trick that you can use because the more humid it is, the more hot that it feels. Water heaters also use a lot of electricity. They account for 10 to 15% of your bill, as well as refrigeration accounts for about 4% of your bill. And many people have more than one fridge and more than one freezer. And also, washers and dryers account for about 6% of your bill. Lighting can be up to 9% of your bill. It adds up quickly when you start looking at those percentages. The fourth way to brilliantly save yourself some money is remove any multi-plug adapters that you have in your house. Because I can tell you from experience, if you have this plugged in to your outlet, and you have 6 holes, you're going to fill up those 6 holes and you probably won't ever look at it again. And all of those things will be pulling power. So it's kind of like in the wintertime. If you plug in a space heater, do you still want that space heater plugged in all summer long and all through spring when the temperatures are comfortable? No, you're just paying extra for something you're not using. And that's what these encourage us to do. So these have all been pulled from my house and are kept in a drawer. The fifth way is to wash your clothes less often. Unless you have a really dirty job or you work on a farm, you don't need to wash your clothes every single day. I wear my clothes multiple times before I wash them. I don't do a lot to get dirty. Now, if I do something to get dirty, you bet I'm going to wash them. But even Levi Jeans says that their jeans are meant to be washed every 7 to 10 wears. And that sounds like a lot to a lot of people because many people throw in their pants every time they change for the day. I was visiting my 40-year-old son this year, and he said, Mom, you're going to think that I'm gross, but I don't wash my jeans every time. And I said, You shouldn't be washing your jeans every time. And he said, But you did when I was a kid. When I lived at home, I thought I was supposed to. And I said, No, I washed you guys' jeans every time because you were kids. Little kids do things that make me think I need to wash their jeans every time they wear them. But adults, we don't get that dirty unless we have a reason that we got dirty. So we can wear those jeans multiple times. Same with your shirt. If you don't perspire a lot like I don't, you don't need to change your shirt every day unless you've spilled something on yourself. So wash your clothes less often. It will make them hold up longer. It will save you electricity. And if you use a dryer, it will save you electricity. I hang them on the line, but it saves me a lot of extra work. And when my boys were in high school and they were 6'3", 6'5", 6'7", I made them wear shorts in the summertime because shorts take up less room in the washing machine. I broke that to him this summer too. And he said, I wondered why you made us wear shorts. I said, I could do a lot less laundry if you're wearing shorts because when you're that tall, 2 pairs of jeans practically take up an entire washing machine. And I'm having to do laundry constantly. The sixth way to brilliantly save money is walk around your house and unscrew some bulbs. If you have double bulb fixtures, unscrew one of them. You won't even notice that you have only one bulb turned on. Just little things like that, little shortcuts can save yourself quite a bit of money. And so I do that, and we just have like one bulb over the dining room table. We have a lamp with one bulb by our chairs in the evening, and we just cut back on that. We switch everything to LED bulbs or to less wattage bulbs. Like in our ceiling fan, we have less wattage bulbs that are screwed in rather than the 40-watt bulbs that they recommend. So that's just an easy way to save a little bit of money on your electric bill. The seventh way is to go around and seal any leaks that you have. If you have any windows that leak, if you have any door frames that leak, and then I'm a big believer in adding draft stoppers, and I make my own out of mismatched long tube socks, and I stuff other mismatched socks in there, and I make my own draft stoppers for rooms that we don't heat or cool to put at the bottom. Now, we don't have central heat and air, so that works really good for us. A lot of these old farmhouses, like my son's that I showed you, have doors to most entrances in every single room. So we keep a lot of doors shut to keep airflow and heat and cooling in the rooms that we want it directed to. The eighth way is to stop depending on your thermostat for your climate control. That sounds crazy, I know, but bear with me for a minute. We talked about me having my sons wear shorts in the summertime. Well, it's summertime. You don't need to wear jeans at home in the summertime. If it's hot, put on some shorts, put on a lightweight shirt, put on some flip-flops or some sandals. When my kids would tell me, "Mom, I'm hot," I'd be like, "Why are you wearing long pants? Go put on short pants. Why are you wearing a shirt with sleeves? Go put on a sleeveless shirt. Why are you wearing socks and shoes? Go put on your flip-flops." And that will cool you off tremendously. And you're paying to have your climate controlled rather than doing what you can on your own first to save yourself some money. Saturdays are great days to dress how you want to dress at home and dress to the climate. When my husband and I owned a grocery store in a small town, we were always shocked because when it would be raining, snowing, ice, sleet, there would still be kids coming in shorts and t-shirts and no jacket. And I thought, man, they must have their heat turned on at home where it's really comfortable, because we would freeze in my house dressed like that. And I certainly wouldn't want to go outside. A lot of people have forgotten how to dress to the climate. They make blanket statements like, "I don't wear shorts," or "I don't wear coats." And that can really break your budget. The ninth way to save money is to take a look at what you're using around your house. Do you have multiple TVs throughout your house? Do you have multiple kitchen gadgets? Do you have multiple computers that are plugged in all of the time? Everybody has one in their room, whether they're using it or not. And those multiple TVs, they do draw power. In fact, for every 10 inches that your TV goes up in size, you can add on about another $10 a month to your electric bill. And that was directly off of my electric company's website. The 10th way to brilliantly, easily save some money is to educate yourself on what things pull the most power. I gave you some percentages early on in the video, but things like air fryers, microwaves, toaster ovens, and slow cookers use less power than some of the other kitchen gadgets that you can use. And it's just like that little trick with the TV not being so large. Those are just easy ways to save money on your electric bill and to keep your costs low and affordable. So many people are struggling with $400 and $600 electric bills, and just a few of these things could really make a difference for you in the coming months when it starts to get really hot. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you'll come back and see me again, and I hope to see you soon.